We're going to follow the structure of the fabric and hide each tail within the column of knit stitches that is the closest to that tail. We'll also follow the natural slant of the tails. If the tail is leaning to the left, we're going to hide it in the left side of the join. If it is leaning to the right, we'll do it at the right side. First, we place the project so that the cast on edge is closer to us, and then we take one of the tails and thread it into a wool needle. To make it easier for you to see what's going on, I'm going to use a tail in a contrasting color. If the tail is leaning to the right, as is the case with this guy, insert the wool needle from left to right under the left leg of the stitch that is the closest to the tail at the right side of that tail. So this is the stitch that is the closest to my tail, and I'm going to go from left to right under its left leg, like this. And then go from left to right under the leg of the stitch that is right above this stitch, like this. And then we repeat the same thing, going left to right under the stitches that are above each other, until we go through 3 to 5 stitches, like this. See, I have 5 stitches right here, kind of threaded on my wool needle. And then we pull the yarn through and pull the fabric along the direction of knitting to make sure the tail does not constrain the fabric. So we kind of relax the fabric like this. Then we're gonna go in the opposite direction, and to make it easier for us, we're gonna rotate the work and insert the wool needle from right to left this time into the other leg of the stitch that we entered last. That was the last that we entered. So we go over here, and then we go right to left into the leg that is above that one, and right to left again, and again, and again, until we get 3 to 5 stitches threaded on the wool needle. And we pull the yarn through and relax the fabric. This is a very important step. We have to make sure the tail is long enough to accommodate for stretch. So we relax the fabric, just like this. And then we cut the tail, leaving a tiny nub. If the yarn is slippery, leave a longer tail over here to make sure it doesn't sneak to the other side of the fabric, which is usually the right side. If the tail is leaning to the left, we thread it into a wool needle. Again, the cast on edge of the fabric of the project is closer to us, and we go under the right leg of the first stitch that is right next to the tail. So we go over here. This time we do it from right to left, like this. And then we go right to left into the leg of a stitch that is right above it. And we do it again, and again, and again, until we get 3 to 5 stitches. It's totally up to you. You can go longer if you wish, but 3 to 5 is usually more than enough. Then pull the yarn through, and very important step, we relax the fabric. Now we're gonna go through the legs that are right over here, same stitch, just different leg, but it will be more convenient for us to do when we rotate the fabric. And we go under that leg left to right, then we go into the leg right above it, left to right, and again, and again, and again. Pull the yarn through, relax the fabric, and trim the tail, just like this. Because I used yarn in a contrasting color, you can clearly see where the tails are hidden, right? But even in this situation, on the purl side of the work, it is not as visible. But when we use yarn in the same color, which is what usually happens when we hide the tails, the place where the tails were hidden is almost invisible. See, it's really hard to tell that there are two tails hidden over here, especially if you don't use a knot, if you undo the knot before you hide the tails. Because aside from a slightly thicker texture that is just thicker, not embossed, see, it's not like a 3D element, it's just when you touch it, you press it, you find it is denser. And those two little nubs of yarn sticking out, aside from those two signs, we cannot tell that there is something going on in this area of the swatch. It looks very nice on the knit side, and it is absolutely invisible on the purl side of the fabric. If you find this tutorial helpful, please subscribe to my channel and click the bell icon to be notified every time I publish a new video. Happy knitting, my friend. I'll talk to you in the next tutorial.